In this episode of Lori's Maine Inspirations, we're going to start where we left off in the last episode at Whip Willow Farm Overlook, where we got a nice little vista of Rangeley Lake. Then we're going to drive north and we'd go through the town of Rangeley, but we've got dogs with us, so we can't really stop. So we just continue on out 16 to Quill Hill, where we get an amazing panorama of the area. Then we head back through Rangeley and out to the west to the village of Oquossoc, where we have lunch at the Oquossoc grocery, and then right across the street there, that's a tap room, so we enjoy that before we see some of the other sights in the village. Then we head south on 17 to Noya's Overlook, where we get a great panorama of Rangeley Lake, before going to another overlook, the Height of Land, which gives us just another spectacular view of the region. After enjoying this view, we head down 17 off the map to the town of Byron, where they have Coos Canyon. More water running over rocks here, but these are really interesting rocks. There's a lot to see, so let's cue the loons and get started. For years, my family's been coming to Maine, and my wife loves the place, and it's inspired a lot of her alcohol inks art. And now that she's retired and doing her art full time, we're looking for more inspirations. And so we're creating this series to share that search and just to share the things we love about Maine while we go look for more things to love. Hey everyone, so we are actually in New Jersey, and we've got our car and our trailer back there, and we are staying at my parents' house, but tomorrow we're back to Maine.
We are. Not such a bad drive either.
No, so we're looking forward to giving you more episodes, but today we got Rangeley, the last Rangeley episode, and so had some good stuff there, and we hope you enjoy the episode. After getting our first look at Rangeley Lake from Whip Willow's scenic overlook, we headed on into Rangeley, and we had dogs with us, so we couldn't do much more than drive by the sites. Here's the Rangeley Inn. And see that, they got cool stuff, but we really can't give this town the Hollowell treatment right now. So we took the next right and headed off north of town towards Quill Hill. Now there's a 12-minute drive to the top up this dirt road. The road was built starting in 2010 by Adrian Bouchot, and the whole place is private, and it works off of donations, and they have picnic tables and a commanding view, and the sign says the best view in Maine. It's probably not wrong. Looking to the southwest, we see Rangeley Lake, and as we pan, we're going to see their Saddleback with its ski slopes, and you can just see that the whole mountain range is visible. It's a great panorama. Of course, we were kind of tickled that it had the same name as our dog, Quill, but yeah, try to get him interested in it. It's your hill, huh? What do you think of that? Nothing? Can't read. We also like the smattering of dead trees in the foreground. They kind of added some interest to the view. Here's one last panorama before we head down the hill. Even as we're heading out down the hill, we were getting great vistas. And, if I sped this up, it really would look like we're going down a roller coaster. At this speed, it's kind of like, meh. But there was kind of we're going downhill vibe to it. It was kind of cool. After leaving Quill Hill, we headed back to Rangeley and then west along 4 and 16 to the village of Oquossoc. And you may notice that you are here above the red arrow. Well, Oquossoc is where the map we've been using actually lives. This map is actually right in the middle of Oquossoc. That's it to the left of this building. And, it's a good map. Obviously, we've been using it. But more importantly, this is a public restroom. Nothing better than a good restroom when you've been out hiking. Oquossoc is also home to a very pretty grocery store. Wonderful porch out there. And when you go inside, like a lot of these places, it doesn't just sell groceries, it also is kind of its own deli. So there was no problem finding something that we wanted here. And then as we were waiting, I could peruse the liquor. I love this about Maine. All the stores have complete liquor sections. It's awesome. But I gotta say, I don't know, traditional whoopie pies packaged like that, I question this. After eating our food in the car because, dogs, we look for something else to do, and right across the street, it's the Portage Tap House. Now, if I'm honest, I prefer a brew pub to a tap house, but walking in this place, it looks so great. We got these canoes as chandeliers hanging up in the ceiling, and then over in the corner, they have this really nice wood-fired pizza oven. But we had the dogs, so we were outside. But they have a nice area outside, and the staff, seeing we had the dogs, they brought out a bowl, filled it with ice and water. Dogs knocked it over. Staff refilled it. They're really nice. And the dogs ended up being very happy. And look at them, like two kids waiting to see Santa Claus. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Lizzie. Also on the upside, Quill let me get a dog selfie. After enjoying a couple beers at the tap house, we went across the street to the Outdoor Heritage Museum and had to live up to its name because we had to stay outside. But they had a lot of cool things to see. We had some sculptures here. This bear was really cute with the little babies. Of course, a bear with babies, this is about how you want to see it. You don't want to see that in real life. Mama bear gonna get you. Then they had this exhibit of a birch bark hut. Really kind of cool to see. And if you know birch bark, you know it'll be pretty robust. Then there's a Rangeley boat. As the sign says, first constructed in 1869. These things look to be kind of somewhere between a canoe and a rowboat. And of course, I have no class, so I'm like, where do you put the motor? But no, really great examples of 19th century craftsmanship. Finally, there's this statue, and I really like the pose, not caught in the headlight, but looking off at something. Before leaving town, we gave a quick peek in at the Farmer's Daughter farm stand and market. Kind of place we like. Didn't have a lot of time, but they have obviously just a lot of nummies on the inside. And if you're looking for something quicker, we got more planters outside, but yes, they have an ice cream window. So again, didn't have time for that. We just really like these planters though. We just thought it was really nice, and they even have a sandbox. So definitely want to come back here sometime. After leaving Oquossoc, we headed down Route 17 to Noyes Overlook. The overlook provides a beautiful panoramic vista of Rangeley Lake. On an earlier trip in June, there were a lot of lupin at this overlook, and so the foreground was actually almost as beautiful as the background. Quill seemed to like it. To the west is Moose Look Maguntic Lake. Here I thought it'd help you if you could see it in writing. And towering over that is Bald Mountain, where the dogs and I had something of a misadventure back in June. As we pan to the east, Rangeley State Park is all in the foreground, and then right across the lake is actually the town of Rangeley, and behind it, Quill Hill. You can see Rangeley at the bottom and the road going up to the top of Quill Hill right there. As we continue panning now down to the south, we're getting Rangeley Lake, and in the background we're going to see Saddleback Mountain, and this is about where Whip Willow Overlook was from our previous episode. After enjoying this view, Lori and I get ready to head down Route 17 to the Height of Land Overlook. Yeah, easier said than done. They're doing a lot of massive construction along 17, and it's going to be nice, but there's a lot of Tonka trucks, and it looks like they're going to have a pretty overlook there. So we just kind of crawled through. You can't believe this is open and they're letting people through, but yeah, and we made it to Height of Land, which is really spectacular. Here we're looking to the northwest at the southern end of Mooselook-McGuntic Lake. Boy, I hope I'm saying that right. It's easy to miss, but the Appalachian Trail crosses the road just south of Height of Land. Yep, that was it. In case you missed it, this is the Appalachian Trail going off in the woods. There are the steps up from the road, and there the path disappears in the woods. A real blink and you can miss it moment. Heading south from Height of Land Overlook, we go down Route 17 until we get to Coos Canyon in the town of Byron. This is another instance of having a rest area right by a must-see site, and it does provide really convenient parking, though the facilities leave a bit to be desired. You can hear the water down there and you get some glimpses first of it, but when you get down there, you are not disappointed. The Swift River has cut some patterns into these striated rocks that are just really fascinating as they tower over you, and underneath you there's just so much to see here. You can really get lost in just looking down at your feet or looking across the water at another pattern in the rocks. It turns out that there's actually gold in this river, and Swift River gold is fairly pure. We found this out by going across the street to visit the Rock and Gift Shop, and this is kind of a cool little place, and we parked in front of it, and they had listened to our dogs bark for half an hour, but we got some cool stuff for the grandkids. Driving across the bridge gave a great look down into the canyon. It also got us over to the outhouse. Nope. Heading back over the bridge gave us a look downstream before we called it a day and headed home. Well, we hope you like that. And it's nice, when we filmed at Coos Canyon, Lori didn't even get to go in it. She just had to stay with the dogs. And in the narration, it might have been hard to tell, but we parked in front of that rock shop for half an hour with the dogs barking the whole time. So I was like, oh, these poor people, while I'm wandering around taking pictures. But
he got some beautiful pictures, and aren't the views beautiful from all the overlooks?
So we had a good time, and we're looking forward to getting back to Maine, and the dogs are too.